Today, the crew had to rescue a sunken boat in icy cold waters. We're going to show you how we got it done. Towboat USA in Lake Texoma sent us pictures of a boat that is now submerged in its docking slip and needs to be salvaged. The team sets out with its gear to meet up with Towboat USA and get to work on the process. The sunken boat is at the end of the dock, and before unpacking, they survey the area. The issue is that the slip has been damaged by a storm that had blown in a few months back. You can see the damage, which is going to make this salvage a little bit more difficult. The ice on the dock also shows the signs of how cold it really is. And if it's cold up here and icy up here, then it's definitely colder in the water.
You going down first for the initial inspection?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Let's start getting everything onto the boat. I think we'll just put the dive package on the boat.
Well, the thing is, he said that originally the vessel was actually sitting on that mud bar. Okay. He said it came off the mud bar, and they're not sure if it's actually underneath it or if it's sitting.
See like that part of the top rail, another one right there.
Yeah, we just need to get down there and find out if it's still on top, yeah, or if it's going to clear. If it'll clear, we may be able to just pick it up.
I know we're dealing is the friggin' bow or the stern right here, man.
The stern is back over here. That's just the roof it came off. It's floating. But the stern of it's over there. The bow of it's actually over there toward that front corner.
A little bit shorter than
so what you'll have to do is take a look at it here and see if that front end is actually dipped up underneath that mud bar. If it's dipped up underneath there, then we're going to have to take that mud bar out.
Yeah.
But then we need to also check for structural integrity. What's going to happen whenever we remove that?
Right.
So make sure you take a look at that real good.
Yeah, bring the roof down, man.
Yeah, we don't want to bring the roof down. Looks like she's already ready to come down anyway.
Unpacking back at the dock, Lee Malone has put some cool engineering together with a pop-up top with other amazing features that make this unit a very versatile boat for all different projects that American Underwater encounters. They line up the truck and load on the compressor, the one that's going to be used to aerate the bags as well as provide air to the divers. All the dive cables and suits and gear are ready and packed on the boat.
Okay, right now the guys are actually getting everything mobilized, getting everything hooked up, hooking up dive station, hooking up standby air, getting the dive flag set. Actually, we'll be hooking up the dive hoses here shortly, getting everything prepped and ready to do the inspection dive.
The boat is launched into the lake, so it's able to get a closer vantage point to the damaged dock and the sunken boat.
Well, what we plan on doing is we plan on going ahead and getting the survey through, and we're probably going to wind up with 2 divers in there, and we're probably going to aqualance underneath it to be able to get the strap underneath it. Once we get the aqualance through there, we can actually feed the strap through, and then we'll go ahead and just set it up, and then we'll start setting up the bags and rigging up.
It's very cold outside, meaning the water will be much colder. The divers had ordered hot suits before this project, but they haven't arrived in time, so it's going to be a cold dive.
Zach's going to be going down. He's going to go ahead and do the inspection dive, and he's going to get us kicked off and started, so that way everything runs like clockwork. Right now, the divers went ahead and done the initial inspection. Right now, it's actually sitting stern down, bow up, slightly listing over to the starboard side, which is your right-hand side. Currently, the boat is actually still tied off on the port side, and that's what that blue rope is, and that's what's actually caused it to list to begin with. And right now, the bow of it's sitting above the mud rail on that mud line, that one we were going to have to cut out. So we actually got a little stroke of luck, so we should be able to go ahead and strap it up and see if we can start rigging it up. We're going to bring the diver up, we're going to go ahead and get a game plan, and we're going to go ahead and see if we can start strapping it up. definitely comes up here in this wind. He went around the wrong way. You went around the wrong way. You got it? I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Listen to the starboard side.
Yes.
And the rail, the mud bar is underneath the bow, correct?
Yes.
So we're actually ready to rig. Can you get the front strap, the bow strap, now, or do you want to go ahead and have him in the water?
It's more trying to figure out like our rigging points on this boat.
Yeah.
All right. So obviously all the railings attack. You know, I don't know how structurally sound that's going to be. Even
They're not.
to at all. The backside or the friggin' stern frickin'. I mean, it's sitting in the mud a little bit.
Is it nosed into the mud or is it on top?
It's nosing a little bit.
To the stern?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now I got the wind chilling my suit down there. The water's just all in it, so.
Temperature outside right now is about probably 46 degrees. Guys are still a little bit cold. Water temperatures, you know, a few degrees colder. Probably about 39, 40 degrees water temperature. Right now we've actually got the bow line already rigged up. We got the midship line already rigged up. And now the two divers are going to go in. Logan and Zach are going to hop in. They're going to actually string the stern line to go around. After that's complete, then Logan will actually start down the starboard side, hooking up the bags, going down the starboard side. Zach will be working on the port side, and he'll be rigging the bags down the port side. And then we'll go ahead and actually hook our air lines to the bags, and then we'll gradually start to air our bags up. The guys are actually able to function fairly well for about an hour, and after that, you know, they start to get a little bit of symptoms of hypothermia, you know, starting to get a little bit of the shakes, and so they'll have to come out of the water and warm up a little bit and then head back in.
How bad can it get? Frostbite?
I haven't had issues with it at all because I always wear the proper gear.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yes, whenever you wear the proper gear for the job, then it's not that much of an issue. When you got a good pair of semi-dry gloves, your hands, you don't have feeling though. That's the only difference. Whenever you have a proper set of semi-dry gloves, your hands will stay all nice and warm, but you have no feeling, you have no dexterity underwater. So if you go to try messing with a nut and bolt, trying to put it together, you may just drop the bolt because you can't feel it in your hands. But yeah, we got our hot water units on order, and they're actually supposed to be here any day now, which they'll be a whole lot more comfortable whenever the hot water units get in.
After the divers get out of the cold water, they heat up for a little while.
It's a little cold in there, so just hopped out to warm up for a minute, but we got most of it pretty much rigged up. We just got about 2 bags left in the airlines, and we're gonna try and shift her over. That's about it.
After setting the bags and the straps, we're ready to put some air in.
We'll have to air a little bit, stop, check it, air a little bit, stop, check it. So that way, whenever we get to that point, we can actually do a nice gentle lift instead of an aggressive lift that comes up and hits the bottom of the dock. But at that point, hopefully they'll be able to actually maneuver the boat into the slip so that we can bring it up nice and even, and they can disconnect the tie lines from the dock itself, so it doesn't actually pull the dock down coming up. Yeah. Biggest challenge is the orientation of it once we get a little bit of lift on it, because it's actually sitting, the stern of the boat is actually underneath the dock this way, and underneath that walkway, the bow is still out there fairly exposed, but we've actually got to get it out from underneath this dock so that when it comes up, it doesn't tear up the dock and it doesn't tear up the boat. Little by little, now the steering wheel is starting to come out.
Yeah.
So we're actually getting more lift out of it, but the problem is we're listing over to that side now, almost like it's hanging up. Yeah, but I don't want to give it too much lift that it sits there and just takes off. That's what we got to watch out for. Yeah, the rail should be right there underneath there.
Yeah.
Is this side right here, is that underneath there?
I don't know.
Huh? Well, you were down there.
It didn't seem like it was.
You were standing right on it.
I stood in the corner and you looked at me. That's where it was. I mean,
But the bag is on the outside as well.
yeah.
So where that hose is,
Like it's gonna hit the boat or hit before the bag does.
yeah, but it's almost like we don't have enough lift.
One of the lift bags is stuck. So with a few taps from the hammer, it frees. Zach jumps on board and opens up any ports that allows water to flow out.
There's 2 bags that we placed underneath there, underneath the stern of the boat. They're actually hooked onto the drive shafts with heavy metal hooks and come out the side on port and starboard. So it's providing that extra amount of lift to be able to raise that stern. The starboard rear bag looks like it may have ruptured over that mud bar. We're actually losing pressure, and it's actually starting to list and sink on the starboard stern. It's sinking back on that starboard stern. See how that starboard stern's actually going under a little bit?
Zach and Logan have to make their way back to the dock by getting back into the cold water and swimming over to the dock. And Towboat USA is okay with the deflating bags. They think they can make it to the shore on time. We would like to share with you a few tips for situations such as sunken boats. A sinking boat can happen suddenly without warning. Whether it's due to poor maintenance or a major storm or an accident, sunken ships don't necessarily mean all is lost. There's an excellent chance your sunken boat can be salvaged. But before you hang up your captain's hat, here's a few tips you should follow in the event your watercraft does sink to the bottom of the pond, lake, or river. Keep in mind that your priority should be to get everyone on board accounted for and safely to dry land. Only when everyone is safe should you then begin to think about what to do next. What causes boats to sink? Believe it or not, it's not that hard to sink a recreational boat or fishing vessel. In fact, it's a little too easy. Something as small as an underfloor plastic fitting breaking in half due to years of engine water vibrations can cause a sudden influx in sea or lake water into your boat. Other times, major storms such as Hurricane Katrina can cut 1,000-mile swaths of destruction. When the tide and storm surge come rushing at the docks, nothing is safe. What if your boat wasn't insured? Well, once your boat starts taking on water and sinks to the bottom of the lake or marina, the clock starts ticking. The longer you wait, the higher the chances are of severe damage occurring. Unless you want to write it off as a total loss, you want to get that boat salvaged. This is where a professional marine salvage company like American Underwater Services can mean the difference between a saved vessel and one left on the bottom of the lake. Marine salvage companies have the experience and know-how to get your boat off the bottom of the lake or marina and make it float again. How to avoid problems in the first place? It's not easy to avoid having your boat sink. Sometimes you're just motoring along and you hit a submerged log that causes the craft to suddenly start taking on water. The U.S. Coast Guard suggests that in addition to having life vest on your vessel, equipment such as float-accurate bilge pumps should be replaced long before they fail. This equates to about every 2 to 3 years. When it comes to boating and keeping your vessel afloat, an ounce of maintenance is worth more than a pound of cure. So the boat has been salvaged. What's next? After a marine salvage company like American Underwater Services has successfully salvaged and floated your vessel, you're going to want to take stock of the damage. Are there electronics that can be removed, such as fish finders, GPS, or other nautical navigational tools? If so, and if you have homeowner's insurance but don't have boat insurance, there's a chance that some or all of the damage might be covered. Next, you're going to want to take a look at the motor and all associated mechanical parts. Instead of trying to let everything air dry, it's best that you have the boat towed to the nearest boatyard where the professionals can take a look at the damage and give you a ballpark figure on what it will take to make her seaworthy again. We are committed to doing what is best for our clients. From our management to our field crews, our 26 years of experience as American Underwater Services is the premier and longest standing diving dredging company for virtually any commercial underwater job. We offer innovative, cost-effective solutions to your commercial diving, pond cleaning, and dredging needs. At American Underwater Services, we specialize in HOA, golf course, farm, and homeowner pond dredging. We can help you regain control over your ponds and turn them into crystal clear water havens for fish, animals, and people alike. Give us a call today. American Underwater Services. Aquatic engineering done right.